What I mean is that's the high gear. Sorry, that's the low gear. That's the high gear. Okay. That should be correct. So it's turning faster, but the reduction maybe not, because although this is bigger, it's actually turning this big here, but it's smaller here. Yeah, no, I should be correct. But anyways, you know, at least you understand how it works. I wonder if this knock is in stock once I'm not exactly sure yet how to put bearings. Here are the cylinders. There they are. Now before I put that, let's just see what happens when I put it in reverse. Neutral, it's not turning at all, you see? Stay still, see? Turning input shaft. The output shaft is not moving at all, you see? Perfect. Oh, that's turning really nicely. It's not moving the output shaft at all. It's really nice and smooth there. That's what you want. If this is not moving this, that means there's really little friction here. Let's move a little bit sometimes, so I go really fast. There's a friction. Even though there's oil, there's always a little bit of friction. It's transmitted through the oil. But anyways, if I put it in reverse, see the whole thing, this pushed that, the reverse gear pushed this that way, which caused these gears to engage, but everything now, including the shaft and these two gears, is turning together now. So there's no need for a switch, reverse switch. Just put it in reverse. You can have overdrive locked. I think. Let's see what happens if I push this in. So the normal position for the little piston on the solenoid is for it to be pushed back this way, disengaged. It has to be pulled in and you start pushed in or to engage and lock that. So let's see what happens if I do that. I'm just going to look for something on this here and see if I can use this. Now it's locked. There's no change because it's still in reverse, remember? Which is good, so it won't just destroy your transmission. Even if you forget overdrive engaged, or if it's disengaged. Mechanical lever will protect you. You'll see in just a minute why without this the overdrive will get broken, damaged if you had it in overdrive and reverse. Put it back to neutral. to neutral. Change it all. In first gear. Right now I'm pushing the that little square thing in so that it's locking in. So what happens as it's locked? If it's locked in, the whole thing just turns together with the overdrive. If it's locked in like that, then overdrive is disabled. And whatever gear I put, it's just going to come out, it's just going to bypass the overdrive. And if I disengage, I let go here, I'm kind of a little stuck there because these rings are not engaged. Let's see what happens. It wasn't engaged. This was engaged. This was still as if it was in reverse. Okay, now with the overdrive locked in. Difference or not. It's actually locked in now. It's pushed in. I do feel a lot more resistance. If I let go, I'll go back to where we were. Friction forces aside, this was turned pretty fast and very smoothly. It's not that way. There's a lot more friction now. Let's turn to this one now. I want to see what happens if I lock it. It shouldn't move at all if I lock it. Because of the chamfer, depending on which direction it turns, why am I not locked? Yeah. There. Now it went. Now it's locked. Locked like that. I like that the way it is right now. That the transmission doesn't turn at all, regardless of the direction. Now, this is pushed in. The governor, the solenoid is pushed in. It's engaged. It's energized. But this is pushed out that way. Now, if I push it back in, let's see what happens. Yeah, then it does turn. Okay, so with the solenoid pushed in, that gear in the center there, what was it called? The one that's connected to this here, it's locked now. It doesn't move at all. So all the power is going through the shaft and not the gear here. Which means overdrive is now disengaged, I'd like to say. So overdrive is not working right now. It's a manual transmission right now. Chart of direction. If I were to move this out, then we'd have a disaster. Because it's locked. Or not, sorry. If I turn it this way, I'm not really sure the way the engine turns it. It's locked in there pretty good. Whichever way I turn. So we'd have a disaster if that were to happen. Right now it's in third gear on the manual side. Yeah, it just moved now because it kicked the solenoid out. Remember, it's chamfered, so if you turn it on the direction, just like a door lock, depending on which direction you turn it, it'll disengage or it'll lock. Yeah. So if I turn it that way, let me try to remember. Can't remember the way the engine turns, but if I turn it that, it won't lock. If I'm looking at the input shaft through this way, if I turn it clockwise, the transmission won't turn at all. And this, remember, with the shift lever here to the right. Yeah, because this here, it locks that gear inside there. So with it like this, transmission won't turn at all. But if I turn it the other way, then that chamfer pushes the solenoid back out. Yeah. So if it goes this way, then even if the solenoid is engaged, pushing it in, it'll still turn. But if it goes the other way, then it'll lock and won't turn anymore. See if you can get the chisel in there. It's not really working. Where the fuck is the chisel? Locked both ways like this. It'll only move while the solenoid is engaged. Wow, that's interesting and dangerous. Only move if this lever here is pushed back in. Then it'll move freely. this shift lever is out, then it locks. Completely locks it. Back in, it turns. Let me just pull that lever out completely. The reason for the friction here is because that little square thing is still not coming back. Normally it would return because the solenoid would pull it back. Push it in and pull it back, but now the solenoid is not removed. The solenoid is removed, so I'm pushing it out by hand. But it's still kind of stuck there, so let me just see if I can get something to pull it back fully out. Oh, this is apparently twisted. I mean, it is twisted. It's still working pretty nicely. Which means this here it's coming out straight, so the problem is in this hole here. I'm just going to get the drill later and I'm going to adjust that hole. Let's put the case first and see how it goes before I do any of that. I am kind of tired, so I am a little slow right now. Yeah, I'll probably stay like this in case it won't touch. Just exercise a little bit. Sit back all the way on. It's all the way back. Just move it around. Assemble it, see how it works, case properly because of this hole here. Twisted. See. Okay. I see what the problem was. That was caused so much friction was causing the overdrive to turn whichever way I push the lever in. But now you can see that if I hold the input shaft here, turn this shaft here, whichever direction. Let's see. Actually turning the gear, there's quite a bit of friction because there's no oil. But it's not turning, you see. They're still separated from each other. See that? Even if I engage the this lever here. Now it's different. I'm just a little confused here, but I will have to fix this hole here. I'm just going to drill it so that it's proper. Strange. You know what? I'm just going to remove the U-clamp here, just so that you guys can see how this overdrive came with a factory problem. That's why perhaps it was sitting for so long. It was hardly used at all. Not a big problem, but it is a problem here. Now you can clearly see what I mean there. See there? Space there. This here, it's supposed to be further up. Could be this. Could be this pin here that's bent. Straight to me. From the top here, you can see how these are supposed to be parallel. I can see how offset, how they're spread apart each other. I don't know if you can see there, but see that? Yeah, you can clearly see it now. Let's see. Another angle here. Yeah, I can really see it there. Look, you see? So. Now here's how we're going to determine, find the culprit. This pin here should have a matching place on the housing. No, it doesn't. Okay. Which means I could either just bend this to fix the problem, or we can drill the hole here. See, it was drilled too far up. It's supposed to be drilled slightly further down. If this is the problem, you know, I could buy a new one, but it's not necessary. I'm going to get a square, place it here, see if this is the problem, or if it's this hole here. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here. I'm just going to place a tri-square here, see if this is square. This should be square. Should be square with the case, right? If it is square, then you know that this hole here is the problem. I mean, it was like this, but it's not good. Huh, it's really funny, huh? Factory problem. I imagine, you know, these holes, they were drilled by hand on a drill press, but it was a human worker would probably drill these holes here. They probably put it wrong and slightly off, or you know, slightly on an incline. And, you know, it was production line, so you just do, you know, hundreds of them and probably messed up one of them. This is probably the one that was messed up. Not a big problem. I could even put it like this, as it is. It'd be a little bent, but it will still work fine, but I don't want it like that. I'm just going to study this a little more. See if that's completely disengaged. Seems, yeah, if this solenoid is not pushed in, then the shaft just turns freely. You see, I'm turning the shaft freely, and it's not turning this gear. The overdrive is connected to this gear, so the overdrive comes from this gear here. This gear here is just independent. You know, if it's not turning with the shaft, then it's not doing anything. The overdrive is disengaged.